Major League Baseball will be using ABS in the All-Star game, not the anti-lock brake system, which is on your car, but the automatic balls and strikes challenge system, which we have seen at times in the past. So what's going to happen? We've seen this in the Grapefruit League and in the Cactus League. We saw it a little bit in the minor leagues about the experimenting being done with automatic balls and strikes, because eventually we're going to get computers and robots calling these. But it's going to be a little bit. So they're going to debut this during the All-Star game, and what it's going to go is that each team gets 2 ball strike challenges a game. And if you are successful, you get to keep going, right? So as long as you're successful, you can keep going on challenging the balls and strikes. But the minute you go 0 for 2, you have no more challenges left. Now, it's got to be made by the batter or the pitcher or the catcher. There's no wait. Go to the manager. The manager's going to say something. Go look at this. Was this open? This has to be an immediate challenge by either the pitcher, the catcher, or the batter, which, granted, for the All-Star game, I'm sure the manager's saying, yeah, that's fine. During a season, like, no. I want to make sure. I don't want a guy getting a hot head thinking that was a ball when it was a strike. So this is kind of going to be we dip our toes in the beginning of the, hey, let's let the public see exactly what this is all about when we have a system that's going to allow you to challenge balls and strikes. And they're going to find out if it's a ball or a strike using the big box system, which you've seen on every broadcast now the last few years. Well, boy, that pitch looked outside. Let's see. They show you the box. Oh, it landed right on the line. This was in the strike zone. It's outside. It's awful. I'm just looking why Phil Cuzzy was trending at the end of the night on Monday for the Phillies game against the Giants. So we're going to get this. And I love it because, number one, it's a technology to make something better, right? We have the technology to make this work, so why not use it, right? You have the technology to make balls and strikes better, to not miss a big pitch, because one pitch flips an at-bat. Clearly, there's some pitches that are a bigger deal than others, but we have the technology. Man, I can't imagine in something that goes on, some company has a technology to make something better and we don't use it. Like, hey, we have the technology you can buy these tires for your car and you'll never have to buy tires again. We can make these tires work for the net, and they're really expensive, but you'll never buy a tire again. Now, you can't puncture it. You can't do anything. You will never have to buy a tire again. It's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a $5,000 tire, but you will never, or whatever it's going to be. You will never have to buy a tire again. Okay, great. Can you imagine having that and say, yeah, we can do that, but we're not going to use it. No, we're not going to use it. You'll still find a way to monetize it. Not everybody's going to pay for that tire. They're going to say, give me the cheapo tire for $300, and I'll try not to drive over broken glass or drive over a tack and gets in there. So the technology to have it to make this better, I like it. It's also going to help ease the tensions that are out there between the batters and the pitchers and the umpire. Because if a call is made that's bad, a pitcher's going to fume on it or a batter's going to fume on it. Now at least they know, hey, you make a bad call that I know is a bad call, I can go challenge it. And if I win, I win. Great. It's what it was supposed to be. If we win, we win. If I lose, I know that, maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe how is that a strike? How is that a ball? So I like that it's going to help keep the home plate umpires and the players more honest with each other, and it's going to help make it better, make a better system for balls and strikes. Because I'm telling you, eventually we're going to get to the completely robot called umpire behind home plate. It just, everybody's got to get used to the idea, right? This is not an idea where we can do it and we're suddenly going to overhaul everything, because players are going to be nervous. Do we really want the computers calling everything? Pitchers will be nervous. The batters, the home plate, the umpires aren't going to want to be made irrelevant by just standing behind the plate going, yeah, that was a strike. Yeah, that was a strike. Yeah, no, a computer tells me that was a ball. Like, they don't want that, but that's the way we're headed, and that's where it's going to go. But you can't just foist ideas like this on right away. You got to get people used to the idea, right? It's kind of like when you and your friends, you're trying to figure out a place to go on a Friday night or to go on vacation. You don't want to come out and say, we're going to go to Mallorca. Let's go to Mallorca right away. I always wanted to go to Mallorca. We're going to Turks and Caicos right away. Right, sounds great. No, it's the only place I want to go. They're like, I don't want to go there simply because you want to go there. You have to sit here and say, hey, I got a bunch of different places here. I got Vancouver. I have Alaska. Boy, I have Turks and Caicos, which had some fun stuff about that. And then you start reading, and then everybody comes around and they okay, I'm okay with going to Turks and Caicos, or I'm okay. That's kind of what this is. Like, it's such a stark move to say, here suddenly we're going to get robot umpires, but people have to get used to it. So here we are, dipping our toe in it in the All-Star game. Then I'm sure we'll dip our toe in it a little bit more. Then if it works, it'll be in the regular season for a year or two. Hey, we got the automatic challenges that have to happen right away from a player. And then eventually, within the next few years, we will get to that. We will get to fully automated balls and strikes.
Okay, so you're right that's where the direction we're headed into, and people don't like change, so we have to ease it in. You're also right that there is no reason to not utilize this system. It makes the game better, more perfect, however you want to look at it. But you're speaking logically here, Jason.
Yeah, if we're talking about robots, I have to speak logically.
You gotta be you're speaking logically here.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
not speak logically.
Illogically. I'm going to
strike
speak
3. You're out of here.
Emotionally.
Okay.
That I know we're headed in this direction, but come on, man. We're going to miss all of those like angry moments of Aaron Boone getting ejected, or how a month ago we just saw Manny Machado get thrown out on the umpire's camera and him yelling at him because it was the wrong call. We're going to miss that. I'm going to miss that.
I don't know. I really like to see players try to argue with a computer.
No,
I really want to see that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're going to lose.
They go off the field. You see them. They shake the mouse to wake the computer up, and they're typing in, that wasn't a strike. That was a strike. You're out of the game. That wasn't a strike. And they're breaking the computers and breaking the iPads like they do in the NFL after a bad play. I want to see that.
They're gonna. That's all that's going to happen, though. We're not going to see them getting in the umpires' faces anymore, or coaches running out of the dugout. Again, I know I'm being illogical in why I don't want this to keep moving forward, because it is going to move forward. And I don't know if we'll completely get rid of the human element, that human error element of baseball, but I'm really just going to miss the hot-headedness, because it's going to take that away.
Okay, but let me tell you what's going to replace. Just picture this. Okay, we're not going to get the hot-headedness, right? We're not going to get that.
Which is so fun.
But we've seen that. What we're going to get instead is, here's a pitch. Oh, there's a strike 1. Wait a minute. I'll tell you, it doesn't. Ohtani looks like he's disagreeing with this. Oh, he's calling for a review. Here we go. And then you cut to the guy who's maneuvering the robot. The robot comes out from the tunnel, and he comes up, and he kind of. I don't know if you make it a robot would be like a real like walking robot, or if it would be a robot that had like wheels for legs, and it would wheel all the way up, and you'd see the big red eyes. It would come up and move its head up like Wall-E.
Okay,
and
now we're at Terminator here.
Yeah, no. And it would look up at you like Wall-E and start playing a song from Hello Dolly, and then somebody would argue about it. And the computer's eyes would flip, and you would see all kinds of different colors change, and then they come out then they take the microphone and say, "This call has been confirmed. It is a strike." And then drop the mic and walk. Like, that's what we're going to get instead. Tell me you wouldn't want to see that.
No, hard pass. Hard pass.
Oh.
Hard pass. That's taking too long. I thought this was going to be fast.
Yeah, you don't want to see a robot come out and argue. You said you like the arguing and the hot-headedness.
That's what I'm saying. But
you
now
don't want to see Manny
machine.
Machado yelling at some sort of robot?
No, because it's better when it's against the person. This robot, it's going to be a quick thing. It's going to make the game, I feel like, just move faster, and it's gonna be, yes, like the correct calls are gonna be called, but like I don't know.
The robot would pick up a player by its jersey and hold it like 10 feet off the ground,
and then throw it up in the air, and it like explodes.
Are you sure, Manny Machado, you want to still argue, or would you like me to let you down? Let me down. Okay, strike 3.
Strike down. Yeah. Let's move to the side and argue on the side, and then the game continues, and you argue with the robot. You argue with the robot as the game continues.
I think that's the next level.
Okay, fine. But if
because if you kick dirt in the robot's not going to be able to move. Like, that's going to be very difficult.
Fine. As long as they're still arguing with the robots, I'm more on board with this.
Okay.
I just need
I will guarantee you arguing with the robots.
I need the hot-headedness to continue.
Yeah, okay.
That adds fun to it, especially when it's not your team acting a fool.
Okay.
You know
because generally the umpires, some of them go back, some of them walk away.
I am a genius.
So you're still going to get the one side. The player's going to be mad.
Right.
But instead of an umpire turning away, pretending to fix his mask or fiddle with something, you're just going to be a robot who will stand right there and stare at you.
Right. Because, like, when you're in the middle of an argument, the minute you realize you're wrong, you kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, this argument is over. So the arguments, it's going to be like once they prove to you that you were right or wrong, it's like, all right, well, carry on then. Nice to talk to you. Let me strike out here then. Let me walk away.
And I'm going back in to get some oil. I need oil and gasoline. More viscosity. Thank you. Good luck.
Almost making it's almost going to make everyone too just nice to each other.
Okay. All right. Sure.
It was just, like, there's going to be no reason to argue.
But I'm guaranteeing you arguing with a robot. I'm guaranteeing you that. It's going to be fun. Be absolutely fun. Jason Smith, Monse Balanos, Fox Sports Radio. Coming up next, we get into the biggest NFL story